market ups and downs, you may be wondering what is the best way to grow your portfolio over the next 10, 20, or even 30 years. That way is going to be investing into some great growth ETFs. Now I said it, growth ETFs will help you out in the next 10, 20, or even 30 years. And two of my favorites are SCHG and QQQ. Now, my favorite right now is looking at more like SCHG. And in today's video, we're going to talk about 5 reasons why SCHG beats QQQ for the best growth ETF on the market. Hey guys, my name is Steve, and I run the Frugal Expat website where we try to help people to save more and invest better. So if you like this content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And I'll continue to create great content to help you to do better. Who doesn't like that? Now, like I said, today's video is about 5 reasons why SCHG beats QQQ. And this is not just a little fight, but it's a little rumble of seeing which one is the best growth ETF. Now, I have talked about SCHG a lot on this channel because I like it. QQQ is a great one. It's been around since 1999 and it's done by Invesco and it's tracking the NASDAQ 100 with non-financials in part of this ETF. It's got a lot of tech in it. It is one of the most traded ETFs on the market, and that's probably why the reasons many people have it. It's got great performance, and who cannot deny a great performance when you're investing your money? Now, SCHG, on the other hand, is by Schwab. It's the large cap growth ETF. It's got about 228 different holdings. It has been around since 2009, and so it hasn't been around as long as QQQ. Now, it's got a little bit lower expense ratio than QQQ, but why do I like SCHG? Because first of all, it's cheap. It's got a great price and it's a good long-term investment for those people looking to invest their money for the long term. Now, today, like I said, we're going to be talking about 5 reasons why SCHG beats QQQ. Now, those are going to be talking about diversification, expense ratio. We're also going to be talking about the concentration in the different holdings. We're going to be talking about tax efficiency and what is the best for long-term investors. Now, if you stay till the end of the video, you'll also hear cons and reasons why QQQ could be better than SCHG. So stick around to the end to see what I think and what are the reasons that you may want to choose QQQ. Alright, let's get to it. Now, our first reason is the lower expense ratio. SCHG has an expense ratio of 0.04%, while QQQ has an expense ratio of 0.20%. Now, if we do the math, every $10,000 invested into both of these, with SCHG costing us about $4. QQQ, on the other hand, it will cost us about $20. Now, you may think that's like chump change, but let's do the math a little bit larger. If we had $1 million portfolio, because we've been investing for not just 1 year, but we've been investing for 30 years, QQQ will cost us $2,000, while SCHG will cost us $400. Now, look at that math. SCHG is now winning in that process because it's saving us money and having more money invested for our future. Those are the reasons I like it. You know, cheaper means low cost. It is greater in the long term. All right, let's go on to our next one. Our next one is going to be diversification. Now, these two ETFs are quite diverse, but QQQ is a little bit less diverse. Now, if we take a look at the holdings, SCHG has about 228 different holdings. It has different sectors, with tech being about 45% of this ETF, and it's got financials, consumer defensive, and many different other sectors within this holding. Now, QQQ, on the other hand, it had about 59% in tech at the start of the year, and in some of my previous videos, the market has done a little bit of downturn, so the tech has gone down a little bit more. But 59% of tech means that there's going to be some more market volatility. Now, right now, it's sitting at about 48% as I took a look at Seeking Alpha right before I made this video, so it makes it look like it's got a little bit better diversification. Now, it's only got about 101 different holdings, so if maybe 2 or 3 of those may go down, it could affect the ETF in volatility. With SCHG having about 228 different holdings, it's got a little bit more that you can have, and so one stock may not tank the entire ETF in the process. All right, that is how SCHG beats QQQ within the diversification. SCHG's got more companies, more sectors, and less of a percentage within the tech sector. So it makes it a little bit more diverse for the long run when it is looking at growth. All right, let's go on to our next one. Now, when we're talking about diversification, we need to also look at concentration risk. Now, concentration risk deals with how much is in one different sector. And we kind of talked about that in diversification. But what it does is it affects the volatility of each ETF. So let's say there's a down market. Now, in a down market, usually the sector that kind of decreases the most are the ones that are in tech. And the reason is because you have more established companies and that are blue chip and dividend paying companies, while tech has a lot of brand new or innovative companies that are going about. So people are going to take their money out of those growth in tech sector and put them more into some stable stocks. So we're going to see companies like Palantir, that's quite newish. We're going to see stocks like maybe Apple's going to take a little bit of a tanking. Maybe some other ones may tank in the process like Nvidia. And these stocks could sink with something that has got a lot of money into tech, like VGT. VGT is the Vanguard Information Technology ETF, which has a huge concentration in Apple, Nvidia, and Microsoft. If those companies tank due to market volatility, the ETF will tank. And it had tanked over the last couple of days, and now it's gone back up, but that happens with the market. Now, QQQ historically has had about 50 to 60% within tech, making it a bit more volatile than SCHG. SCHG has had a lot more concentration in other sectors besides tech. It is right now sitting at 45%, while it had historically done about 48, but less than 50%. It also has stocks and financials. QQQ has no stocks and financials. So that means you have a lot more concentration risk when you're looking at QQQ. So when markets go down, that means QQQ will go down a little bit further. If you take a look at 2022, and that means QQQ went down 32 to 33%. On the other hand, SCHG only went down 31%. On the other hand, when markets go up, QQQ can take advantage because it's got a lot of tech. Bull markets mean tech goes up. Bear markets mean tech will go down. So that's where the concentration risk comes in. So when we're looking at our long-term horizon, we gotta see what we want. Do we want to have that more risky QQQ, or do we want a more diverse ETF like SCHG? I think personally, I want to have more diversification, so I'm gonna go with SCHG. All right, let's go on to our next one, which is tax efficiency. Now, with tax efficiency, we don't want to have more taxes due to our holdings and our ETFs. ETFs are supposed to be tax efficient, and they are. They're very tax efficient compared to some of the mutual funds or even index funds. Now, SCHG and QQQ are both quite tax efficient. They don't have as much turnover. Now, with QQQ, you're going to have a bit more turnover since it's got a lot less stocks, and so that's going to possibly have some capital gains tax passed on to the investor. Now, you may be wondering, oh, when does this happen? Well, it happened in 2021, and it shocked a lot of investors when they owned QQQ and got a tax bill out of it. That is a shock to the system. Now, SCHG, on the other hand, hasn't passed down any capital gains tax, and so that means it is a bit more tax efficient. So with these two ETFs, you got to also look at this turnover ratio. Historically, QQQ has had a turnover ratio that's averaged around 8%, while SCHG has averaged around 3%. They both have some turnover, but QQQ has a little bit more turnover, and in high turnover scenarios, they could pass on some capital gains tax, and it may shock the investor. That's just something you got to look out for. SCHG, boom. Not very much a better tax efficient ETF to hold compared to QQQ. All right, and our last point we're gonna make is for the long-term investor. We're gonna kind of put all these things together to make sure it shows you that the long-term investor will do better under SCHG. So SCHG is going to be better for the long-term investor because it's got lower fees. It's got a higher diversification, and it's more tax efficient than QQQ. Now, we can also see this since SCHG hasn't been around that long. We can kind of see some of this play out. Now, QQQ has been around since 1999, and it's seen a big drops, it's seen some low drops. In the dot-com boom, the Nasdaq fell about 78%, and that means QQQ fell a ton. And it took years and years to kind of get back up. That's what could happen within QQQ because of the tech concentration and the high volatility with the tech market. Now, in the last 10-15 years, we have seen the tech market boom. And that means QQQ has boomed. Now, if you're looking for more of a long term and things that can kind of ride out that volatility for a great buy and hold growth ETF, SCHG makes that because of its low volatility compared to QQQ, its lower expenses compared to QQQ, the tax efficiency, and the diversification within many different sectors. It makes it a better choice for long-term investors. Now, I just explained a good bit of stuff, but there are some cons and some things that you may not like if you're looking at SCHG. First of all is the dividends. If you are someone looking for income, SCHG may not be the best one. Now, with the prices going down recently, I took the most recent information and I found that SCHG has a dividend yield of 0.51%. So not so bad, but if you had SCHD, which is a dividend ETF, you would get 4.17%. Now, QQQ, on the other hand, has a dividend yield of 0.72%, which is pretty high compared to SCHG. And historically, if we look at the historic of both of these, QQQ historically has had a much higher dividend payouts. So that just adds to its total return. And speaking about total return, another con is QQQ over the long term has outperformed SCHG. Now, I say over the long term, that means over the last 15 years. SCHG has been around since 2009. It's been about 15 years. And QQQ, on that same time period, has had an average annual return of about 17% compared to SCHG, which is about 15%. So that is a con. Now, if you were to look at the last 5 years, SCHG has done better than QQQ, but that's short term. What we need to remember is past performance does not mean future performance. So we can see that SCHG has been doing great in the last 5 years, and it may not have performed great in the last 15 years compared to QQQ. But if we look at the long-term horizon, will we think tech will dominate? I don't know. Will we think other sectors could dominate that are part of this growth fund? Possibly. So where we're looking at these growth ETFs, we need to see which one's going to do better over the long term. QQQ is more liquid. You can trade it. You can do options on it. It's got a lot of tech. SCHG, lower expenses, more diversification, less volatility. So your choice is now. Which one will you choose? If I had a choice and I was thinking of the long term and I didn't want to see my portfolio drop because of tech, I would probably go with SCHG. If I wanted and I could stomach large downs and ups and I wanted to see more in concentration within the tech industry, I would choose QQQ. But that's your choice. Which choice will you make? Which one do you want to buy? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you on our next video. All right, until next time, I'll see you.